All right, everybody, I am back with a brand new DC update. And boy, did things blow up today with Matt Reeves and the Batman. He's been making the rounds and taking some short interviews, and over the last week has made some very interesting comments. And this all comes on the heels of Batman making an appearance in Creature Commandos, which does have the season finale this week. I'm going to hope to get caught up on it and give a review of the whole season by the end of the week, but we'll see if I get a chance to do that or not. But I have a lot to talk about because after the revelations by Matt Reeves today, I don't think it bodes well for the future of DC. I don't think it's good for the fans. I don't think it's good for the DC brand in general, and we'll talk about why as I go through the slides that I have grabbed for today's video. So let's go ahead and get started because there is plenty to talk about. All right, so first up, I almost did a video just on this, but I wanted to wait. Again, I've been just trying to rest and get better, and so it takes a lot to do a video, and I wanted to talk about this, but this will tie in well, and today's video will be very Batman-centric. But this was the first official look at Batman in the DCU from Creature Commandos. Now, what's interesting about this, we're going to talk about a couple of things. Here's a closer look at this. And first of all, everybody was saying, great, we can put to bed the rumors that Pattinson was coming to the DCU. This looks more like Ben Affleck. Now, what's funny about this is nobody called this guy Fat Man or made any complaints about how big he was like people did when Ben Affleck played Batman. So the hypocrisy by the so-called DC fans is in high order right now. And this is one of those examples. So James Gunn then came out and made some comments about Batman. He had said that in this particular episode that they actually had a lot more Batman in it, but he had them cut it because he didn't want to reveal Batman just yet. So what did he do? He pared this appearance down to cameo porn. This is exactly what he said he wasn't going to do. Now, I know there are going to be people that don't like my videos and are going to come out and say, it's not porn, cameo porn. It's there to show that Batman exists in the DCU. Well, we already know that, okay? This is cameo porn. This is the epitome of cameo porn that James Gunn said he wasn't going to do. Now, people notated that it looks like he has the trunks on, and James Gunn in this interview said this may not be the final look of Batman, and I don't think it's going to be either based off of what Matt Reeves said today, and that's too bad because I do want a large size, fully developed Batman in his prime. Pattinson is definitely not that. I think Pattinson is my least favorite person who has ever played Batman. Here is James Gunn, more on the cameo. He said he's one of my favorite characters. I love him, and we're going to do great things with him. He's the most popular superhero in the world, and I'm glad he recognizes that. It's not Superman, it is Batman, and Batman brings in the big bucks for DC. And based on what they're going to do, I think they're going to be losing money, and we'll talk about that here in just a little bit. James Gunn also hinted that there is a possible world's finest movie or production coming up very soon with Batman and Superman together. And these are the versions of the characters I wish we would see. And if they go with Pattinson and they go with Corn Sweat, they are dumbed down versions of these characters. Now, I posted this on social media, and this caused a lot of people to come out of the woodwork. I cannot believe that this is the suit we're getting for the new Superman film. This is a terrible suit. I don't care what anybody says. Anybody who loves this and says it is comic accurate, they're lying to themselves. They're lying to you. It's not true. There has never been a loose-fitting, rubber-looking Superman suit like this. And it's just terrible. Everything about it looks ridiculous. Now, this is also making the rounds. This comes from the Snyder. He believes there might be some truth to Mr. Freeze appearing in the Batman 2. I think there may be a little bit of truth to those Mr. Freeze rumors. An untested, unproven source reached out to suggest this. Now, I will not be upset if this is the case, because they have yet to do Mr. Freeze right in live action. The Batman and Robin version was ridiculous. And so this is my all-time favorite Batman villain, and I would be interested to see what Reeves would do with it. And I'm hoping that, on that note, with the Batman 2 being pushed out so far, I'm hoping they're retooling it and there will be a time jump and it won't take place just weeks after the Penguin, because there needs to be some serious growth in Batman. Pattinson is going to have to bulk up. He's actually going to have to look the role, because that last film, like I said, he is my least favorite part of the Batman movie itself. Now, there is a petition going on out there, and I really hope that they take this to heart, but knowing Gunn, he is very narcissistic, and it's his way or the highway. I don't think they're going to do anything about it. But there was a massive fix with the way Sonic was going to look when the Sonic movies came out, and they heard the public and totally changed it. And people are hoping that they do that with the Superman suit, but I think it's going to be to no avail. I just think this is what Gunn wants. It's a parody of Superman. It's unfortunate. Now, I thought this was interesting. Obviously, released the Ayer Cut, the official, handle on Twitter. He says, our Green Lantern wants to see David Ayer's cut of the Suicide Squad. And Wayne T. Carr did post on December 6th that he would love to see the Ayer Cut. And then after this post, 7 hours later, he did the hashtag of release the Ayer Cut. Everybody wants to see the Ayer Cut. And here you go. Somebody couldn't have said it better. I don't want to hear anybody call Ben Affleck Fat Batman ever again after we just got our first look at the DCU Batman. And so it's just some crazy stuff going on out there. Like I said, the hypocrisy of the so-called DC fans is definitely on display. So here's the quote from James Gunn himself on the Superman-Batman team-up. He said, I can't wait for people to see more of him, along with Superman and together. And so he's excited to show something of Batman. He just doesn't want to show it just yet. And I guarantee you Batman is not going to look like that. Now, I'm not sure how you say her name, but Blu-ray Angel said I could see Adria Arjona as James Gunn's Wonder Woman. And she actually does have a good look. And this comes off the heels of a post that was done by Jason Momoa. Also, to kind of blow people away, just know that Batman Begins is 20 years old this year. 20 years old, people. That's pretty crazy. Now, this was also interesting. There was a lot of talk, and a lot of these so-called DC fans were getting all over Snyder fans for threatening David Ayer over his praise of the Superman trailer. But come to find out, most of those were anti-Snyder bots that were behind a lot of those posts. And there's a lot of this going on social media right now, and you can see them a lot with Warner Brothers. I think Warner Brothers is doing a ton of fake accounts out there to drum up support for the Superman thing. You'll see a lot of people making comments, and you'll find out that their accounts have only been open for a couple of months. And this is what's going on. They are out there just to create havoc and to create fake hype, and it's not going to work. Now, this is pretty crazy. I haven't heard anything from James Gunn or anyone else, but a lot of people were talking about Josh Brolin and that he is being considered for the DCU. Who do you think he could play? Drop your suggestions below. And so a lot of talk about this. I don't know who he would play. Maybe, I don't know. I can't envision him. Maybe Batman. Maybe we'll have a young Superman and a very old Batman. Who knows? So here's that post I was talking about with Jason Momoa and Adria. They were celebrating the Lobo casting, and so he's got the Supergirl Woman of Tomorrow script in his hand, and he is smoking a cigar. And so, again, we all knew that this was coming. Now, this was very interesting. A lot of people say Zack Snyder has moved on from the DC universe, and he certainly has not. This was a post that he just did this last week, and it was, again, he posted a picture of Batman, and it was very interesting. Nice a nice sunset there with the Batman suit. So he has not moved on. And a lot of people are assuming this means the Dark Knight Rises is coming, because that might be a sunrise. And so some people think the Dark Knight Rises, or the Dark Knight Returns, is possibly being done by Zack Snyder at Warner Brothers. Also, they just had the Golden Globes, and Colin Farrell won Best Performance by Male Actor in a Limited Series, Anthology Series, or Motion Picture Made for Television. And he does deserve it, but I think Kristen Milotti did a better job as Sophia Falcone, and she didn't win anything. In fact, there were 3 nominations, and I don't know what all 3 were, but Colin Farrell was the only one that won. I'd be more interested in the Emmys than I am the Golden Globes, because it's like the Emmys and the Oscars are what really matter. But we'll see. In fact, I think they should do the People's Choice Award. Should be the most fitting, because some of these other things are just, it's all political. Now, I posted this the other day, just yesterday, and this also caused a firestorm. This person, the DC connoisseur, he posted, he gets it, and he did a smiley face with, like you're in the military, just thanking someone. And it says, Superman let them handcuff him because it wouldn't be much of a surrender if he resisted. He just wants to make them feel safe, make them feel secure. And supposedly this is a quote that comes from James Gunn. And I don't know if it comes from James Gunn or not, but somebody said this was the exact quote that Zack Snyder had said for Man of Steel. And the fact that these people who are gun fans, really? The fact that these people are gun fans thinking that James Gunn is the architect for all of this is ridiculous, when this was already done in Man of Steel. So here was the big thing today. First of all, Matt Reeves came out, before I talk about this specific quote, Matt Reeves came out during the Golden Globes and said that the Batman 2 is going to start filming in 2025, which, again, 2.5 years prior to the movie coming out seems a little fishy to me. But he says they are hard at work, and he did confirm that that he personally had a very hard time this last year, and actually thanked Colin Farrell for being there for him through the whole thing. And he didn't say what it was, but he obviously went through something very, very personal. But in another interview today, and I posted about this on Twitter, this is him talking about Matt Reeves on the possibility of Robert Pattinson's Batman joining the DCU. He said, really comes down to whether or not it makes sense. What the future brings, I can't really tell you. We'll have to see where that goes. And then he went on to state that all he's really focused on at this stage is getting the Batman 2 out there and working on, the universe with a possible Penguin 2 and any other things that might tie into the Batman universe. So I want to talk about why this is horrible if they do this. First of all, these 2 characters look really soft. I don't think Robert Pattinson embodies the character of Batman. I don't think David Corenswet, he kind of looks more like Superboy than he does Superman. When I read comics, and I've seen other iterations of these characters, these individuals look very soft. I hate to say it, but they look like dumbed down versions of men. And I don't want to see these versions of characters be the face of DC for years to come. I just don't. Now, translation, when he says really comes down to whether or not it makes sense, James Gunn is strong-arming him because he was very adamant about the Batman not becoming part of the DCU, that he wanted it off in the corner. Here's why I think it's a bad thing if Pattinson's Batman joins the DCU. First of all, James Gunn will take credit for it, and this will be the only version of Batman and Superman that we have. This was already an established universe off to the side, and while it wasn't perfect, I did want to see it continue. If Batman is their number one moneymaker, there is absolutely no reason why they couldn't let the Batman universe continue off to the side and bring in somebody else to play Batman. The more Batman there is, the more butts you're going to get in the seats. I think by folding this into the DCU, that all this is going to do is it's going to stymie the sales. I don't think it's going to be as powerful or as popular. Now, when he says what the future brings, I can't really tell you. I guarantee you that they're going to wait to see if Superman is a success before they determine whether or not Pattinson is going to join the DCU or not. Now, I've already said in the past that this is a good thing for Pattinson because it's guaranteed money, it's guaranteed future. That's good when you're an actor to get jobs like that. It's a very good thing. So for him, it makes financial sense. But I don't think it's good for Warner Brothers. I don't think it's good for DC. I don't think it's good for the fans. I think we need to have multiple versions of these characters to make people happy. Every version of these characters on TV and movies are now, they're completely done. And, James Gunn talked up the multiverse when The Flash came out, but he's definitely not utilizing it. And I think that is a shame. I really hope he is not going to keep his position when all is said and done, when his contract is up here in about 2 years. So we'll see what happens with Superman, but I don't think Superman is going to be as popular as people think it is going to be. All right, guys, so there you have it. A lot of Batman news, a lot of moving pieces within the DCU, and I will be covering all of it here in the future. So if you stick to my channel, I'll be doing all the updates and covering everything. And I do appreciate all the support. If you like today's video, please hit the like button at the bottom, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you will be notified when I have new videos go up. We will see you guys on the next video.